It's one of those things. You hear about scams all the time, but you're smart, right? It would never happen. Wrong. Anyone can fall victim to a scam, especially as scammers are changing their tactics and using new tools to trick you. Remember, that's their job. As WFMY News 2 Sydney Moore shares, it can even happen right here in the Triad.
I ended up giving him all the passwords.
Nancy Gross says she didn't think twice when she saw True Lion Federal Credit Union on the caller ID.
When he verified certain information, I verified it back.
The scammer, who she thought was the bank at the time of the call, said her account was hacked and wanted to help.
He's also telling me that, they were thrilled to have me as a customer. When I go to the bank the next day, they inform me it's a scam. And they look and all my money is gone.
Conmen are good. Scammers know what to say.
Lachelle Yates with the Better Business Bureau says typically real banks don't just call you out of the blue.
Don't believe caller ID. If you get one of these phone calls, hang up, get out your paperwork for your bank or look online and call the bank and verify there's an issue. That is really the best way to protect yourself.
This has been a learning experience, but I don't want it to happen to anyone else.
All right, so you just saw her in that story. Now she's here live with us, Lachelle Yates with the Better Business Bureau, answering your scam-related questions. You can text those questions right now, 336-379-5775. You get your question answered in real time, but I got to tell you, your question is anonymous, so don't feel weird about asking a question. Is anybody going to think I'm dumb about asking this question? Nope, just ask it. That way we can get the information to you and probably other people who are asking the same question. All right, let's talk a little bit more about that bank scam. What do people really need to look out for?
So there's a couple things that you need to know. One, first, know your bank's policies. Know that they're never going to call and ask you to do something like send money to yourself, or just know exactly what their policies are. That's the best first step. Also, watch out for fake caller IDs. Scammers can spoof any number, including your bank's. Also, never share one-time passcodes or obviously any personal information about your bank or your bank information. And these, I think, probably are the two most important tips. Don't reply to suspicious texts. It lets scammers know that your number is active, and then they can target you for future scams. And also contact your bank if you suspect a scam. If you get a text or a call, find a number and call your bank, or get your bank card out. Somehow find a phone number for your bank and call the bank and say, hey, is there a problem really with my account? Those two tips right there are probably the best two things that will save you from a bank fraud scam. That will save you from so many different types of scams, whether it's a utility scam, a bank scam, a phone
Amazon,
scam,
all of it.
Amazon, yes, you name it.
Right. So the rule is you go back to the source. You don't use the website that they give you. You don't use the number that they give you. You go to your, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you go online to your Prime account. If you have, something with Duke Power, you're going to call the number on the bottom of your bill. All right. So we've all heard about scam calls, but scammers, of course, using phones in a new way to get people. What would that scam text look like?
So this is a good one. This is new and kind of scary. They are calling you and saying that, or texting you and saying that you're getting a text from mom and she's at the store and forgot her wallet. So send her money, maybe $150, something along those lines, but don't do it. Scammers have spoofed mom in your caller ID on your phone. Can you believe this? Scammers know that many of us have our parents saved in our phones as mom or dad, and we've saved them that way in our contacts list, and they're hoping that you won't think twice before you send money. So here's the best way to protect yourself. First, look to see if this is a new message thread. A lot of us, I know I do this, text with my parents on a regular basis. I never delete my text threads. So it should show up that you have previous messages from them. So that would be a dead giveaway. Also, double check sender information. Click to see if the name matches with your parents' information. Also, just call to confirm. I know I'm going to call my mom and be like, Mom, what are you doing? How did you forget your wallet? So that's always a good way to double check. And then also, again, if you suspect a scam, don't answer. If you reply, scammers are going to know that your number is active, and then they can target you for future scams.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people use the peer-to-peer payments, so like getting a request from a friend or something like that, or a roommate or something may not seem so weird, but you should always have that red flag up to look at that and be like, what do they need that for again? And always go back to the source. That's a great tip there. Okay, so speaking of imposter scams, right? Because again, if they can spoof mom, they can spoof anybody. There are some Publishers Clearinghouse imposters being reported to the BBB.
Yes, every time that commercial comes out, we start getting reports of scams. They call and they say, you've won money, maybe it's a car as well. You need to pay $500 up front in gift cards. Here's how you can protect yourself. They never call or text you. That surprise face that you see in that Publishers Clearinghouse commercial, that is a real surprise face. Also, you never have to pay money to win money. And gift cards are for gifts only. Remember that. But here's a new wrinkle to the Publishers Clearinghouse scam. They know that we're telling people that gift cards are for gift only. So now they're giving you fake checks to cover that upfront cost. But you don't know that the check is fake. So you deposit the check, the money appears in your account, you think it's all good. So you send them the money. But it can take 2 weeks for those checks to be detected as fake. As it winds its way through the banking system, it can take that long. And then when it's detected as fake, you're on the hook for the money, not the scammer. You have to come up with the money. So just be really careful. If you get that call or that text or that email that you've won Publishers Clearinghouse, and here's a check to cover the costs, it's a scam.
Right, anytime you got to pay, right, it's never really for real. And Publishers Clearinghouse, they like to surprise people. Like seriously, they surprise people, and they don't surprise them with a text. They're at the door, there's balloons, there's all the things.
Exactly. That's real what you see in the commercial.
So what are some other signs that show folks what they're dealing with is a scam? There are some like telltale things.
Well, you know, anytime that you get a text or an email out of the blue, whether it's from your bank, utility company, from Publishers Clearinghouse, that's always a telltale sign that it's a scam. And you never want to click on a link from somebody that you don't know, because that could download malware onto your device or onto your computer. It's the same thing for an email. I don't know about you, but almost every day, at least once, if not twice a day, I'm getting scam emails. It could be an email to myself. It could be an email for a fake invoice. I got one the other day for Norton Software. I don't have Norton Software on my computer. I'm just getting all of these random invoices and things. And so you don't want to click on those links, even if you are curious, because you could be downloading malware or other suspicious software onto your computer that can cause lots of problems. It can do keystroke tracking, where it can log what you're typing in for accounts and passwords and things like that. So that's always a really good tip. And again, you know, just remembering that if you respond to texts and emails to say, hey, stop, leave me alone, or clicking on links, that it just lets people know that you have an active number or an active email account. And then that just gets out to all the scammers. So you're just going to be bombarded with more text and emails and scams.
So just leave it alone. All right, we're going to be taking your text questions, plus we're going to be talking about medical information and scams as well. Remember, you can text us. We'll be right back after this break.